Coming from TechCrunch, Satya Nadella says companies that trust one AI for everything may not survive. Oh, boys and girls, this is the moment that I have been waiting a decade for. The knives are coming back out. This is the industry I know and love and have a passive aggressive codependent relationship with. Oh, this is something I understand. So Satya Nadella, oh, he is channeling his inner Bill Gates to start fucking with the AI companies hardcore. I do have to say, I don't pity Sam Altman or Dario very often. But I do kind of feel a little bad for them right now because they're about to find out just how vicious this industry is at the end of the day. As I've been talking about for a while, for at least the past 5 years, as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, right? It's been this whole kumbaya horse crap. Everybody loves each other and everybody supports each other. And oh my golly, isn't this a wonderful party we're all part of? And again, me as an Aspie, I'm like, what's going on? I don't understand. All of these really god awful, horrible, mean people are smiling and being nice. I just don't get how that works, right? And I've talked about that before, about the whole idiocy of this whole concept of artificial intelligence, and how it is idiotic on the face of it, and how most of them are weirdly using basically the exact same technology stack. And the problem for a lot of these companies is that if they poke holes in the other company, they're essentially poking holes in themselves. So if Satya Nadella comes out, or if Amazon or somebody comes out and says that OpenAI's models don't actually provide any value to the customer, then the next question is going to be, but then why do your models provide value to the customer, right? And so since this fraud has been so big, trillions of dollars are on the line, everybody has wanted to play nice. The issue is it's all falling apart. Day by day, we see it falling apart. We see the data center, the companies that own data centers. We are told these data centers are supposed to be gold mines, and they're selling out. The people who own the gold mines are selling not just the gold mine, the entire fucking companies they're walking away from, right? We see this with Oracle. Oracle is now, I think it's Washington State or whatever. They're demanding a $7 billion in collateral for Oracle to build a data center up there because the government officials don't actually think it is going to be built, right? We've heard from Accenture. Accenture is a global consulting company. Basically, they've been shoving AI down the throats of all of their customers, Fortune 500 customers and that type of thing. And they're hearing from the executives that the executives see no return on value for all of this AI investment. And so the entire story around artificial intelligence is falling apart. Which means the knives are coming back out, right? Basically, the free flow of money is stopping. So what the companies have to do is they have to try to make sure that they survive, and they survive by killing off the fucking competition. Again, remember in the real world, when we talk about survival of the fittest, we think about the lion running into the little tribal camp and then everybody running away. Remember, you don't have to be the fastest. The important thing is just that you're not the slowest. And if you get up to run and you're feeling a little winded that day and a little gassy and maybe a little hungover, that's when you pick up your lead pipe and you crack Bob in the kneecap. And then, hey, you're not going to be the slowest anymore. So I do believe Satya Nadella and the rest of them are pulling out their lead pipes, and Sam Altman and Dario are about to find out what it's like to get a lead pipe to the kneecap. But just honestly, look at it, puts a smile on it. Eli, you're never happy anymore. You're always angry. Look at me. Are you now more worried? Oh, when I'm angry or when I'm happy? It's like, oh, fuck, now I've seen Eli happy. I prefer him when he's angry. Honestly, I have to say, Eli is much less disturbing when he's angry. When there's a smile on Eli's face, That's when it's really fucked up. Anywho, on Sunday, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella doubled down on the shocking warning he issued earlier this month to businesses that use AI, taking it a step further this time. And again, this is what you'll notice, right? This kind of thing is no longer a one-off. This isn't like, oh, he was on a podcast, he was tired, he said the wrong thing, don't take it that way. What you're going to start noticing in the messaging for these artificial intelligence companies is they're going to start upping their game. They're going to be double down on the things that they've been saying. Companies that rely wholly on the proprietary AI labs for their AI needs ultimately won't survive, he predicts. Basically, what he's saying, right? Remember, OpenAI, Sam Altman has stated they need a $1 trillion valuation. Anything less is a non starter. If OpenAI doesn't get a $1 trillion valuation, they die. And fucking Satya Nadella is coming out and basically saying anybody who wholly depends on proprietary AI, so OpenAI, basically, you're not going to survive. What does that do to the total addressable market for OpenAI? That's what he said on CNN's Fareed Zakaria GPS. And the other interesting thing to be thinking about with this too, I've been talking about this, right? I've been talking about Jim Cramer coming out and talking about circular financing. I've been talking about Willie Nelson coming out and being against data centers. Thinking about this, Satya Nadella is on CNN's Fareed Zakaria. Look, however you feel about CNN, I got opinions. How you feel about Fareed Zakaria? I actually don't have much opinions on him. The important thing to understand is this is the kind of stuff that normies watch, right? Because so much of the investment in artificial intelligence, so much of the push in this idiocy has nothing to do with the tech stack, has nothing to do with return on investment, has nothing to do with solving problems. It has everything to do with the fantasy of what normies have in their minds about what AI means. Right? Again, they're willing to invest $1 trillion in AI. They're not going to invest $1 trillion in neural networks. Right? And so what's interesting here is we're starting to see this more and more in the popular culture, in the normie culture, right? Basically the pushing back on artificial intelligence and just saying it's not what it's cracked up to be. When Zakaria asked Nadella to explain what constitutes a company sharing too much with an AI model provider, Nadella said businesses need to be wary of everything they hand over, from their data to their prompts, right? Nadella called for a setup where, quote, every time you use the model, all of the metadata around it is retained by you so that you could use all of that to train perhaps your own weights or your own open model. Well, any firm that doesn't have this control, I will claim, will not remain a firm because you've essentially outsourced your thinking. And that's what that's what Sam Altman wants, right? Sam Altman wants you to outsource your intelligence services to OpenAI so they can be the utility for intelligence services. And Satya Nadella is coming out as CEO of Microsoft and saying anybody who does that isn't going to have a business in the future. In short, companies without their own models or without a layer of AI infrastructure known as AI gateways to separate their prompts from the model itself will be in trouble. He specifically wants companies to stop relying on AI labs built encoding tools known as harnesses, quote, by keeping the harness separate from the model and the context and memory separate from the model, you absolutely can use multiple models for what they're great at. At the same time, any one model can go away and you can still continue to be in control of your own destiny. And that's going to be one of the important things with models going away. We did a video talking about this with Amazon. So Amazon AWS apparently has Nova models. Did you know Amazon had their own models? I didn't. Apparently they do. And now they're deprecating a whole bunch of them, right? And so basically one of the ideas that Satya Nadella is saying here is that if you have your harness separated from the model itself, then basically if the model goes away, then you can swap in different models. So one of the things that OpenAI is trying to do and Anthropic is trying to do, and it makes sense, to be clear, it makes sense from a business standpoint, is they're trying to create overall products, right? Codex. If you're going to do coding in the OpenAI world, use Codex. If you're going to do coding in the Anthropic world, use Claude. And there, as I've talked about before with these tools, is that there's much more to them than simply the model itself. The model is a component of the AI tool, but it is a single component of this overall system. And so basically, what Satya Nadella is saying is, look, if you buy all of this, if there's a proprietary harness and a proprietary model, and that's what your enterprise is doing, basically you're setting up your enterprise to be killed. Ooh, ooh. I like words like that. I like words like that. Um, Let's see here. If we go down, he anticipates that once a company has, quote, outsourced its thinking to a model, there's little to stop the AI lab from eventually offering a competing service of its own. This risk grows as enterprises adopt AI agents and give them access to the innards of the company. And so this is a big thing that's going on. I think they were talking about this. They've been bringing this up with OpenAI. OpenAI, I think, came out with some kind of tool. It was like some kind of design tool. I haven't played with it yet. But apparently they have been negotiations with Figma. So Figma is a UI UX platform, basically building the user interfaces for things, that kind of deal. Apparently they've been in like a relationship. They've been figuring things out. And then that fell apart. And then OpenAI basically created their own AI version of Figma. Basically, that's the idea. And so one of the interesting things is Nadella is saying here is, look, you can't trust these AI companies. You can't trust them, right? And you just can't. You can't trust any of us. Distrust, verify, stay suspicious. That's how you should always be. And in the AI world, double it, right? Even worse. And so basically one of the things he's saying here is, look, like these AI companies want $1 trillion valuation. There is nothing that they have that gets them currently to that $1 trillion valuation. So they have to come up with new things, right? They just do. Well, here's the deal. If you're using them as the intelligence layer for your company, and they are essentially learning from you in many different ways, what is to stop them from creating a competing product based off of what you have, and then adding that to their portfolio, again, to try to be worth $1 trillion valuation, right? And this is a really, really big concern. Again, as I've talked about before, I know I bring up Sam Altman's sister, and you're like, Eli, why do you always bring up Sam Altman's sister? And one of the reasons is like, look, if that's what he's accused of doing to his own family members, to his own sister, what the fuck do you think he's going to do to you? Right? And that's the thing with Sam Altman. Like everybody agrees he's a manipulator, right? If you read the news feed, everybody seems to agree he's a manipulator. Everybody seems to agree he's a liar. Everybody seems to agree he uses, basically manipulative, emotional manipulation or whatever to try to get people to do what it is that he wants to do. And you look at that, and that's the person you're getting in bed with. That's the person that you're putting at the core of your infrastructure. How comfortable do you feel with that? Whereas Satya Nadella is coming along and basically just saying, like, look, we sell services. You want compute? We got compute. You want storage? We got storage. You need record storage? We got record storage. You want model? We got model. Look, you go to Azure. I think Azure calls them Azure functions. Anyways, it's called serverless architecture. Anyways, you go and you take a look at everything that Microsoft has to offer. Microsoft has like 300 serverless solutions. Like you just go in there, they are now to the point that they have too many solutions. Like Jesus Christ, can you chop down this list a little bit so it's easier to understand what's going on? They have everything. You can literally go there and it's like genomic sequencing or whatever. They literally have Azure functions for like genomic sequencing. And so that's what Satya Nadella is saying. It's like, look, you come to us, we have got all of these different options. We're not locking you in the way that OpenAI is trying to lock you in. They're trying to lock you in their own special way, right? And so we have all of it. Why would you lock in to Anthropic or OpenAI or one of these other types of AI companies when you can come in and you can buy your AI just like you buy all your other infrastructure as a service? And I think it's a hell of an argument. I actually think it's a very, very reasonable argument there. And we'll see how it goes in the future. Again, this is one of the reasons I don't think OpenAI has a future. I think OpenAI is MySpace. I think OpenAI truly is MySpace for this generation. They were a first mover. They proved the concept. They got traction. and they're gonna be sold off for a tax loss, I think, at the end of the day. Because realistically, and that's where I really want you to be thinking about, like I say, in the artificial intelligence world, any technology, whether it's AI, whether it's databases or virtualization or whatever else, right? If you're deploying this into your infrastructure, if you're putting this into the enterprise, you're buying more than the product. You're buying more than the product, right? You're not buying the frontier model. You're buying everything that goes along with it. And that's the thing is Microsoft offers the entire ecosystem that you can deploy into that many organizations and enterprises are already built on. They're already built on the Microsoft stack. Look, whether they should be or shouldn't be, that is an argument that left 20 years ago. They are in the Microsoft stack. They have all of this available to you, where like OpenAI and Anthropic, they're just their own little things out there, right? I talk about this like back with the MCSE. One of the things I was most impressed with Microsoft back in the day, because again, remember, you go back 25 years ago, there were different operating systems out there back then. There were a lot of different things going on, and one of the reasons that I think Microsoft really took off and why they won that particular generation of the tech fight was because they had the overall ecosystem, right? Not only did they have a desktop operating system, but they had the server operating system. Not only did they have the server operating system, they had the Exchange server, plus they had Outlook, plus they had all of these different products. Oh, you need to learn how to use those products? There was a tremendous amount of training that was available in order to use those products. Oh, you need to get certified to prove that you know how to use these products? There's a tremendous amount of certification out there, right? Then they had partnership programs. They had again, Action Pack. Back when I had my company, we used to buy this thing called Action Pack for $450 a year. You get all the licenses that were required to run a company of up to 10 people, right? The idea is if you're a small MSP like we were, right, for $450, you get all the licenses to everything. So you can deploy them into your environment, see how everything works, and then basically, once you know how good it is, then it's a hell of a lot easier to sell to your customers, right? They have all of that, and that's one of the things that made Microsoft, I think, very successful. If you look at Apple, again, their little ecosystem for smartphones and all that kind of stuff. They came up with the SDK. They came up with the way to make money off of the apps, all those kinds of things. That's one of the reasons I feel like iOS is very successful when Microsoft just died that generation, right? Microsoft came out with their phone and it was pretty crappy because they couldn't compete. I look at the AI labs and I compare them to Microsoft or Amazon or Google, and I just don't see how they win this particular fight. They don't fundamentally understand what is actually valuable in the transaction. What is valuable isn't the frontier model. What is valuable is that overall stack. Can you get support? Can you scale? When you need to scale, is there going to be the ability to scale? Do you think the company is going to go bankrupt next year? Right? All of that is part of the decision process. Outside of token cost, outside of frontier models, outside of a lot of things, there's all of these things that you have to consider. And that's where I think Microsoft and Amazon and Google, at the end of the day, they are the winners for those particular arguments. And as I say, that's where I don't grasp where the $1 trillion valuation for these labs come from. And even if they can IPO at $1 trillion, I don't see how they don't end up like SpaceX and just start plummeting, after their IPO. So, anyways, so what do you think about this? What do you think about Satya Nadella pulling out the knives? Literally basically saying, if you depend on OpenAI, your company will be destroyed. Are you like me? You're like, yay, I love this. This is this this is the weird dweeby blood sport that I fell in love with many years ago. It's like a blood sport for dweebs, but it puts a smile on my face. I don't know. What are your thoughts down below? If you like these episodes, remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.